Hey y'all, Stacy here. I am so excited to be giving my best effort to this rapid fire home fragrance challenge. This is 26 rapid fire questions that I'm going to be answering essentially about my home fragrance preferences. I'm so happy that I got tagged in this because I've been away from YouTube for a minute and this feels like the perfect way to splash back in. As a quick reminder, I do use mostly 25 watt and up Scentsy warmers as I am a Scentsy consultant, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that we can stay in touch. This tag is so much fun. I've seen a lot of my favorites participating in this, so be sure to look for everybody's video. I was tagged by Summer and she's one of my favorites. Thank you so much, Summer, for tagging me and bringing this whole thing to my attention. Question one is candles or wax melts, and I use both, but I use wax melts near daily, and just because candles are a lot to maintain, I typically only do them a couple of times a month. So wax melts for me for sure. Q2 is a little harder for me because it's asking me about two scent categories that I love, woodsy or fruity. I enjoy both and I have favorites in both, but if I had to choose, more of my comfort scents lean woodsy, so I'm going to say woodsy. Now on to an easy one. Am I spring, summer, or fall, winter? I'd pick fall, winter any day. Now, I love spring and summer scents, and I love fall and winter scents. But again, my cozy comfort scents tend to be fall, winter, so I've got to pick fall and winter. Hotplates or Scentsy warmers. If you've heard my intro to any video, you know I'm going to say 25 watt and up Scentsy warmers are my jam. Now, I do not like to yuck anybody's yum. It's a matter of personal preference. For me, I love the artisanship and the style of Scentsy warmers, and of course, their electrical warranty. But I also am a person that even before I was a consultant, I am the kind of person that I email companies to find out about their labor practices. And Scentsy is a company that I have always found very forthright in disclosing how they pay their artisans and manufacturers. So I really appreciate that. With dropship companies on Amazon, I've never gotten answers that I found satisfactory. And they seem to be the main purveyor of hot plates. So largely I avoid them because of just electrical concerns and their non-disclosure of labor practices. But I am always asking everybody. I will also say I do love artisan-made votive warmers. I don't use them as frequently as my Scentsy warmers, but I love them. And Veronica over at Melting Memories did such a beautiful job last fall of explaining her sourcing for her votive warmers. So I'm hopeful that she's going to be sourcing some more this fall and winter. Now, this next question, vendor wax or Scentsy? I refuse to choose. I do use mostly Scentsy. So 70% of my collection is Scentsy, but I love vendor wax. That 30% of vendor wax that I have, I'm not giving up. I love them both. Get that question out of here. Now, would I prefer to buy multiple smaller size wax pieces or loaves of a scent that I love? I feel like this really is based on the scent and the scent family. So, like fresh scents, laundry scents, floral scents, fruity scents, I will just try those broadly because they're fun. I enjoy to have them, but I don't have a ton of comfort staples in there. But my scents that are like my comfort staples, I want loaves and bricks of them. The worst, most disgusting scent note in wax is hands down peanut, peanut butter, peanut brittle, PB&J. They're gross. They're awful. Even when they think they've gotten it right, they've gotten it wrong. I have avoided entire vendor launches because they have a peanut butter scent going on, and I don't want to run the risk of getting a sample of that nastiness in my box. It will ruin the whole box. If I get a peanut butter scent, which I recently have, I will find someone to gift it to or throw that thing away. Hard pass, no thank you. The most underrated scent blend I have to say is any blend that includes patchouli. I know patchouli is a strong note, particularly on its own, but it dials up and down really easily, and I feel like it brings a richness and a warmth to so many really outstanding blends. I don't think it's one to be afraid of. What is the last thing that I warmed? It was perfection. First of all, it is Peaches and Cream from Bright House Scents. I think this is maybe my favorite peach scent of all time. It is just the most perfect, sweet, juicy peach with cream. We did it in the kitchen, in the living room. Everyone loved it. It's stunning and the perfect summer melt on these hot, horrific days. Everybody wanted to have actual peaches as a result of me melting that thing. What was the last thing I bought? It was in the Scentsy clearance sale, French Kiss and fried ice cream. Got sucked in and bought those. And I also had just participated in getting the last clearance sale, which had Stroop Waffle Delight. Clearances are always going to get me. Do I double bag? Not as a rule. I do always try to keep some bags on hand so that if something arrives to me broken or damaged, I can just put it in that bag, but I don't double bag everything. I just don't find I need to. This next one's complicated for me because it says, do you store by vendor or season? And I really store primarily by scent family. So, like, I subdivide it. So I try and keep vendors together, but everything is stored by scent family. So, fruity with fruity, woodsy with woodsy, mint with mint. That's just the way that I find it best to store for me. Oh, this is a tough one. Three favorite scent categories. I would say anything that is atmospheric in kind of an outdoorsy way. So woodland or aquatic atmospheric scents, bakery, and spice. Yeah, I feel pretty good about those three. Blend or single note. I would say I like blends best. I love layering scents. So I do enjoy to get single note scents so that I can layer and blend them. And I also sometimes enjoy melting them on their own so that I can kind of investigate what I like the best about the scent note in blends that I love. But ultimately, it's all driving towards blends. So I'm going to say blends. Do I prefer strong throwing scents or soft and subtle scents? I do like both. I think I would pick strong thrower simply because a strong thrower, you can use a lower wattage warmer or less wax and typically get the atmospheric approach you want. And sometimes it can be harder to build up a subtle scent. Now, morning or evening melter, I'm both. I melt from morning to evening. I do not melt 24/7. I mean, I say it in all my videos. I melt for about 15 hours a day, but I do change my wax out in the middle of the day, so I'm an all-day melter. What are the first 3 scents that come to my mind? Peaches and Cream from Bright House Scent is living rent-free in my head. I'm also thinking a lot about Scenty's Autumn Hearth because I hope that it comes back this fall and winter, even though I know it probably won't, and Scenty's Apples and Oats. If I had to pick between Fresh Linen or Sweet Bakery, I would choose Sweet Bakery. But one thing that vendor wax has taught me is we don't have to choose. There could be a wonderful blend of the two. So both and. One of my favorite examples of this is from Brita's Creepy Treasures. It's a blend that also has blue sugar in it. It's called Monsters Under the Bed, but both and. Let's blend them. What is a heartbreak scent you can no longer get? I feel like for a lot of us, that had the opportunity to melt Salt Mountain Melts or participate in any of her pre-orders. The color of what heartbreak scent means has changed given the tragedy that struck their family and them no longer being in production. So I'm just going to pick two of my favorites from her last release, which is Lilac Cakes and Big Ego. Do you melt the same scent all over your home or change it up by section? I would say most of the time I change it up by section. I do try and coordinate my scents to create like a scent story, as especially if there's spaces that you might walk from one zone to the other. I like to make sure that they coordinate or that they're thoughtful in the way that they're presented. But there are occasions where I just smelt one scent throughout every room in my house. The other day I did that with Teddy B's Blushed, and I was a very happy camper. Do you track what you've been warming? Why, yes, I do. I have a spreadsheet that I track by weight and vendor. I'll share a link here to the video that I made on it. It's pretty detailed, but I love tracking by weight. It helps me to better make decisions. Try the dupe or buy the OG. I think typically I like to buy the OG, but um, there are instances where I have tried the dupe before I've tried the OG, and in that case, I really do like then love the dupe more than I love the OG. An example of that is I fell in love with the Candle Nurse's Forgotten Cherry, and apparently that's inspired by Tom Ford's Cherry. So if that's considered a dupe, I like Forgotten Cherry better. What is a scent that you didn't expect to love but now do? That's Fall Feelin', hands down. When I first smelled it, I thought that it was probably leaned a little soapy, and I didn't have a chance to warm it while it was available. I heard Brett from Brett and Brad talking about it, so I threw it in my club, and I'm so glad that I did because I fell in love with that scent. It's just completely different on warm to me than it is on cold, and it's a staple in my house. Everybody loves it. I was so happy when it popped up in clearance because I was able to just stock up. It's a beloved scent in my household now. Am I a seasonal melter or a mood based melter? Hands down, I'm a mood based melter. Now, I am a mood based melter who sometimes is influenced by the season, but that's just because my mood is influenced by the season. If I feel like a winter scent, I will melt it, whether it is winter, spring, summer, or fall, and vice versa. Centy Club or stock up all at once. This may be surprising to some folks, but I'm a stock up all at once person at heart. I've been a Scentsy customer for 19 or 20 years now, and I've only had a Scentsy Club for about 2.5. I just got the Scentsy Club because I was considering becoming a consultant and I wanted to see how it worked so that I could help people if they signed up with me. I do love the Scentsy Club and I don't intend to stop it, especially since it has my beloved frosted ginger cookie in there. And I love my Scentsy Club for that. But because I'm a person that likes a lot of different scents, most of the time I just stock up and then I try to reserve my Scentsy Club for just those scents that I truly, truly love. What scents make you nostalgic or relaxed? My number one nostalgic scent is Scentsy's Christmas Cottage. It was one of my first loves. It's, I know, supposed to be a holiday scent, but I melt it year round. It's warm and cozy, and it's also very relaxing to me. So it hits both of those marks, nostalgic and relaxing. I also really love like Teddy B's Salty Lavender. That's my favorite. Lavender scents with kind of those salty oceanic vibes are just perfection to me. And I really love Earl Grey and herbal teas in scents. And that does it for me. It is officially your turn. If you want to be tagged in this, please tag yourself. And Patricia Gates, if you haven't done this yet, please do it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you don't have a channel and you still want to participate, let me know some of your answers to the questions in the comment below. Thanks again, Summer, for including me on this. I'll talk to you guys soon.